Here's the statement on that with Jason.
I don't think that's true. Okay, maybe I shouldn't talk about this. Whatever, who cares? I had a security guard.
What do you think the punishment should be? Jail, brother. What do you mean? Jail, jail, jail. Sexual assault equals jail, okay? Cyber stalking should also have some kind of fucking penalty, at least like mental health evaluation and mental health treatment. And then actual physical stalking in the real world, even before the sexual assault, should also have some kind of repercussions. But this is the maximalist thing that you can do. This is he sexually assaulted her, okay? He should be in jail. What the fuck? You do a crime, you go to fucking jail. Or at least that's how it's supposed to be.
2 years ago, where there was a guy following me around TwitchCon, and he like asked him to stop multiple times. My guard asked him, and the guy wouldn't stop. So he grabbed the guy, but he didn't.
Like, the craziest part about this is every fucking content creator has experiences like this. Every single one. Every single one. Okay? FYI, the person who made this tweet made a death threat against you. This person, Jay Lee plays games. I mean, whatever, dude. I can eat it. I can deal with it. Fucking, there's a long list. Okay, if I were to look through every fucking person on the internet that has like, Anyway, what I was saying is, I mean, this is a part of that same culture of normalizing this kind of behavior, for the record. Like, it's just, this plays a role, okay? This plays a role in normalizing this kind of behavior, especially if you're a fucking content creator. Especially if you are a content creator and you have some semblance of a community. When you say stuff like that, your fucking freak-ass parasocial fans are also going to see that and be like, oh, this is awesome. We can all do this. We should all do this. Okay? Anyway, it doesn't matter. The story is not about me. I'm just saying every single content creator has experienced stuff like this. And the content creators themselves that also lean into stuff like this guy apparently, don't realize that they're also participating in this culture, and they're expanding the permission structure for people to do this kind of thing. Okay? You are emboldening the fucking freaks. You are emboldening. You are behaving like a freak yourself, and you are also emboldening the fucking freaks. I'm sure this used to happen to celebrities way before content creation too. Of course. Of course this used to happen to celebrities all the fucking time. The difference is, however, that celebrities at least were like somewhat inaccessible as opposed to the way content works now. And when you're always on, and when you're constantly, when you constantly have a back and forth feedback loop with your audiences, the parasocial feelings are heightened. The sense of entitlement is heightened. You understand that, like, the person that you're seeing behind the screen is not dissimilar to you in many ways and are accessible. Okay? The internet did not invent this issue. The internet simply streamlined this issue. And over the last couple of years, okay, over the last couple of years, I would go so far as to say that, especially with Twitter becoming 4chan poll openly, it has made people feel even more comfortable and confident behaving in this way, because people get rewarded when they behave this way on Twitter now. And that has had an impact on all of the other platforms as well. That has caused other content creators to also lean in on this kind of behavior, this kind of like antisocial personality disordered behavior. And all of that has made it infinitely worse. All of that has made things infinitely worse.
hurt him. He was just holding the guy until like the con security came. And then for some reason they're like, yeah, because your security guard touched him, he's like permabanned from the venue forever. But he didn't even hit him or anything. He just like held him while they waited for like the police to come. And,
what the fuck?
And it was like my favorite security guard. I can't have him at TwitchCon anymore. I was just like, okay, like it was so sad because he did like everything.
I don't know, man. Like, even after the Charlie Kirk stuff, like, people didn't dial it back at all. People did not even remotely think to dial it back at all. They just went, all systems go. This is actually this is a product of the violent Antifa left, and we have to fucking kill them. We have to do whatever we can to fucking apprehend them. Like we just, I don't know. We have no like cultural safeguards at all. We have no social safeguards at all. Have you ever met Emiru? Yes, of course I've met Emiru. I've done content with Emiru. Why would the security guard be banned? Because the security guard apprehended a con attendee by the eyes of the Twitch executives, I guess. It's a unique situation because given that there are no safeguards around this sort of thing, and there is no like real legislation to try and deal with this sort of thing, you can't even fucking talk about it. Some content creators do talk about their own personal experiences every now and then, but most people don't. I'm telling you, what you hear from streamers about their stalkers or about incidents like this, like whether it be cyber stalking or directly like physically stalking or directly physically assaulting someone, sexually assaulting them, what you see and what you hear is simply the fucking tip of the iceberg. Okay? Same thing goes with swatting. Same thing goes with cyber stalkers and real life stalkers showing up at your house. People don't talk about it. And the reason why content creators don't talk about it, the dark side of Twitch streaming in general, is because there's not really too much you can do about it. And because there's not really too much you can do about it, when you talk about it, it amplifies it and it creates copycats. Even subreddits that are cyber stalking shitholes like LSF that are purposely directed to the Streisand effect comes from that, literally. Okay? But even cyber stalking shitholes like LSF have made a rule for years and years not to show when someone gets swatted. They delete those clips on purpose because that only creates copycats. That only creates more people that want to do that sort of thing. Not to bring it back to you, but isn't there like a weird ass stalking Discord server devoted to tracking information about your parents? Yes. And not just my parents. It's just everything. Yes. But once again, that's not even the tip of the iceberg. That's like, it is what it is. There's not anything you can do about it. You just have to live your regular life. Because the one thing that these fucking dipshits want out of you more than anything else is to impact your life in some way. Just as you chat in the chat and the streamer sees your chat and reads it out loud and has that kind of brief interaction with you, Some people take it one step beyond that, where they want to control your life or they want to impact your life in a negative fashion. Okay? That's what this is. It's almost like a puppet master. People do this kind of thing because they want some power over you. They have a sense of entitlement. They have a sense of unearned entitlement over everything that you are, your physical person. And on top of that, they want to control your life. They want to make sure that they can impact your life in a significant fashion. It is deeply disturbed. Seems like you have this exact talk every 3 to 4 months. Yes. And these issues obviously persist. I mean, look, this is what I was trying to say is like, you know, the reason why this is, you know, all too common, same content creator who's like talking about how devastating this is, okay, has also leaned into it himself, right, to a certain degree. The reason why, the reason, I mean, this is so commonplace that like I didn't know who the fuck this guy was, and it turns out he's done this himself. Like, I'm trying to explain how normalized this is, right? It's just completely fucking normalized. And content creators that actually lean into this kind of shit are creating an environment that is less secure for themselves as well. Okay? They farm it. I'm a new sub, don't hate me, but why are feminists on TikTok accusing you of misogyny? I haven't seen any evidence, but so many people seem to agree. Come on, man. Remember, this happened to Nick Pollum last year. And it wasn't just like a stalker. It was also a stalker that was trying to make content out of it. It was a kick streamer that tried to make content out of this as well. I think Emiru was with Cinna and Valkyrie earlier this year when there was a stalker that came up to them and was like threatening to kill them. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And even after that, oh, it was Emiru's stalker. Emiru was the target of that stalking too. Yeah. Even after that, I saw a bunch of people that were defending that kind of behavior or victim blaming. There were people that were victim blaming, saying, how do you guys not have security? You don't expect to have, like, you know, stalkers show up? Obviously, duh. But I think a lot of people don't understand that, like, that kind of victim blaming, unironically, expands the permission. People see that and they go, wow, I guess this is you know, I guess this is the appropriate thing to do. I guess I can even get clout off of doing this shit. Yeah, even when Cutie, Valkyrie, Pokimane, when they came out and said that they didn't want to attend because they were fearful, I saw people fucking shitting on them. There were people yelling at me when I said I don't feel comfortable going to TwitchCon given the crosshairs that I have on me because I don't want to put other people's lives at risk by potentially headlining an event so far ahead of time that I've said I was going to be at with like, you know, ample planning and stuff like that. And then people yelled at me over that. They were like, "Oh, get the fuck out of here. You're a pussy. You should actually show up." Immediately proving why I said what I said, and specifically and openly stated why I was not going, right? So that if I had some fucking stalker psychopath with plenty of ample time for planning, not show up to TwitchCon and maybe even potentially harm others in the process. And then I went to France. After saying that, and then people turned around and yelled at me for that. They were like, "Oh, wow, this guy." First, they said I was a pussy, and I was actually afraid for my life, and I was lying and acting as though I was, being considerate of others. Then they fucking turned around and said, "Oh, wow, this guy went out to a fucking protest in France. He went to an event in France. I thought he was too scared to put others in harm's way." Maybe in France, they don't have fucking access to an arsenal of weapons in the same way that they do in the United States of America. Perhaps that is the reason why it's not the same. I mean, you literally got your ribs broke on TwitchCon not that long ago. That was also in France, ironically enough, but that wasn't like a stalker situation. That was just like, that was a car accident. Yeah. It was also Austin who crashed into me and broke my ribs. I still did 3 hours of a meet and greet after too with broken ribs. That was crazy. Anyway. Hey man, long-time viewer. I saw some memes and I hate you now. I struggle to think of for myself. So if you could sway me back to your side, we'll be all good. You got it. Like I've said over and over again, women have it so much fucking worse in this industry. It is so fucked up. It's so unacceptable. And this is the byproduct of that. Okay? And what I mean by that is like, I'll give you a little taste, okay? Now, you guys know from my experience being in here, I got, professional clip farms that clip me out of context all the time to try to invoke some kind of response, right? But women across the board, female content creators across the board have that no matter what. There were clip farms, some of which that are also dedicated to clip chimping me all the goddamn time and stalking my ass too, that are probably in here right now, that were professionally, look, this guy goes, victim Andy. Yeah, I'm not a victim. Okay, I don't give a shit. It is what it is. I'm just explaining something that I have also personally experienced while talking about a broader problem here that women experience so much worse. There were professional clip farms that would literally clip female content creators whenever they spoke about anything remotely sex related, even if it was talking about their own personal sexual assault, for example, and they would clip it out of context to make it seem like they were being salacious, make it seem as though they were being salacious and sensual with like shy emoji. They'd be like, oh, like Valkyrie talked about being sexually assaulted as a child. And these guys went and they fucking farmed it to be like, oh, she's actually talking about sex and slapped a fucking steak logo on it to try to fucking make money. And only after these content creators got together and said that they were going to pursue litigation did they stop doing that. Nobody actually turned around and said, hey, this is pretty disgusting. You should probably stop doing this. They only fucking stopped because they were forced to stop.